Boom, boom. All right. Good morning. It is 8:30 on the 4th of May, and it's D&D time. We are in session 9 of After the Odyssey, titled Strangers in a Strange Land. So we are like underwater doing some cool stuff. But we will do a recap and find out what happened last time if Arcadia is here.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Streaming to you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. We begin the session on our 10th day reunited. Tasklin finds Demetrius in his cabin working on some ledgers, and he acknowledges he hasn't been the easiest person to get along with, but says it was mostly a reaction to disrespect. He admits he hasn't been the most respectful himself and proposes they start over. Demetrius is fine with that once Tasklin apologizes. And Tasklin says that one of his standing doesn't apologize easily or frequently, but Demetrius says that every now and then a man has to do what he has to do, even if it's not pretty, and explains he just had to apologize recently himself, and he is referring to his conversation with Queen Valis, his wife. He points out specific times Tasklin was insulting, and after an awkward silence, Tasklin finally apologizes, and he feels Demetrius's powerful magical protection embrace him again. But Demetrius doesn't plan on apologizing until Tasklin brings up specific examples, so he does. Tasklin hopes they will be on better terms from now on, and Demetrius hopes not just with him, but with the rest of the party. But Tasklin doesn't think he has issues with any of the others. He asks Tasklin if being a hero was what he expected, and Tasklin says it's not as glamorous, although Demetrius assures them there is that side of things. And meanwhile, outside, Estrella is trying to fly to Vengeance and Assis, and every time she does, they fly away from her, and she cries, and they are cruel to her. Vengeance is like, what's that fishy smell? And whenever Estrella comes near, and Aziz says, it smells like weak old carnage, I wouldn't even touch it. And as we're sailing, we notice Verena has Percolus. Now, Percolus, remember, is the bully of Tasklin's childhood who has joined us. It's gotten permission to be on the ship. She is one of the only 3 women on the ship now. And as we're sailing, we notice Verena has Percolus under her arm, showing her around. They are chit-chatting and laughing as they walk around. Demetrius, meanwhile, is really taking on the role of captain, and having learned how to read Common over the 7 years he's been gone, we've been absent from each other. He's signing several forms for approval and doing all sorts of paperwork. But the centaurs seem to be a bit restless that night. They're asking, is it tonight? Is it tonight? And they're like, oh, yeah, I'll be ready. And they seem to be working extra hard. By the way, we have a couple of people to thank very much, Degeneration and Baron Brogar, for giving us cheer bits, which converts into gold for the adventurers. So we want to thank you very much. So we all bed down, and in the middle of the night, we hear drumming and hoofbeats. All the centaurs are gathered on the top deck, and a white cow is being guided into the middle of it where Demetrius stands. And he says, Divine Stallion, father of the first herd, your sons call out to you. We dedicate this sacrifice and the battles ahead to your glory. May your breath steel our hearts and your fury guide our charge. Bless our hooves with the strength to trample our foes, and let the ground quake beneath the thunder of your name. And he slits the cow's throat, and once it dies, he cuts out its heart, takes a bite, and then hands it to the next centaur. And one by one, they pass the heart around and take a small bite until the entire heart is eaten. And then they dip their hands in the carcass and smear the blood on their body in various centaur symbols. And the carcass is taken off the deck to make beef soup for the next day. And Tasklin watches, but once he sees the beginning, he goes to sleep. But Arcadia sneaks up and sees the ritual. We all fall into a restless slumber, gently rocked to sleep by the swaying of the ship. As we open our eyes, we see ourselves standing in the open plains and hear a sweet, familiar to some, well, familiar to all of us, lustrous voice fill our heads, well, except for Tasklin. You thought I was bad. You have no idea what is coming. At least I had a purpose. He is just a dog chasing a carriage. He wouldn't know what to do with one if he caught it. Nothing but pain and suffering awaits you if you continue on this fallacy. Good luck, my lovelies. And we wake the next morning, and Corbin and Demetrius recognize it as Lutheria's voice. And they Arcadia finds out from them who that was. It was on the tip of her tongue who that was. Demetrius immediately goes to the party and sees if any of us have been struck with madness, but it seems that we are all okay. Arcadia asks Tascalin if he had the same dream she did, and he did. He thinks it's just more of an annoyance, but she warns him that the party has had dreams like that in the past from Lutheria. We're not sure what this means because we killed her, but whatever it isn't good, and she thought she would let him know that. And he says, what is death to a god? Perhaps just a change of being, not actual death as we know it. And she looks at him and says, there's something she'd been wanting to say to you since you joined, and after seeing the way you were treated by your father, I am sorry for that. And he kind of shrugs it off by saying his mother didn't have the best choice in men, but she says it still doesn't excuse his behavior. And she says, as we are going into what will no doubt be a very dangerous journey, I have some advice for you and hope you will take it. And it is meant from a family member who wants to support you. And she says, your arrogance or perhaps just your upbringing doesn't serve you well here. And she explains that just because he's a noble doesn't mean he's better than them. And it's easy to have inflated expectations, and when you meet the real thing, to be disappointed. And she explains that that when you're fighting powerful enemies, things don't always go swimmingly. And she's not defending Demetrius because she definitely still actually has, well, she's had and still has issues with him. But she points out clapping when he goes down and making fun of him is not the behavior of someone who aspires to be a hero. And it's not wise because we all rely on each other to save each other. Although she does acknowledge this is a very different world for Tascalin, and she can sympathize having been isolated on Themis. But she did say even when she hated Demetrius, they worked together as comrades. And he responds that perhaps he was too naive when he was reading the stories and didn't realize at the time, because he was a child, that the stories of the heroes were embellished. Not to be insulting to us, we are all capable warriors, but he wouldn't have shown such disrespect to Demetrius if he didn't have confidence in our abilities to revive him. And he's starting to realize that the world is not quite as what he was brought up to expect. He was being very childish. And she says she's sorry to say that he'll probably grow up too quickly being with us. And he says he sees that his tutors had a more outdated perspective of the world. And he was locked. That's what's happened when you lock yourself in a school for countless decades and don't keep up with the times. Again, she can relate to that, having been isolated on Themis. But he says for the time being, he just wants to see Gravik dead, because she asks him if he still wants to be a hero, and he will make his mind up at the end of that. And they do have the shared goal of wanting Gravik dead. So Tascalin thinks he can get along with the rest of the group and see the task done. Verena asks Demetrius why they're sailing to the middle of nowhere. He says we're going to the sunken city, and Pergolas actually gets very excited and knows about the sunken city. And she tells us the Sirens once lived in a great expanse of shoals in the Cerulean Gulf, where they built a city of brilliant white limestone. Its towering spires and pillars thrust out from the rocky waters, allowing the Sirens to fly or swim as they pleased. They lived here in joy, singing praises to Sidon, who governed the oceans. Sidon heard this from his throne in Praxis and scowled. Were they truly grateful, they would not build their towers to rival mine. When the Sirens learned that Sidon was displeased, they were heartbroken. They dismantled their towers and composed new melodies, songs of repentance, which once more carried on the winds to the ears of the Titan. He was unmoved. Were they truly repentant, they would not sing so brazenly, but they would go meekly and offer the proper sacrifices in place of songs. This time the Sirens were utterly stricken. They had believed that their songs were cherished by the gods. Their voices were stilled, and in the ensuing silence, the brilliance of the city faded into shadow. Stone foundations cracked, and pediments grew heavy. The pillars collapsed, and the city of the Sirens sank deep into the ocean, swallowed by churning waters. Even its name was forgotten. Centuries passed in silence. Eventually, a new song began, an endless lamentation for the city that now sleeps on the ocean floor. When Lutheria learned that the city of the Sirens had been destroyed, she laughed. She captured an entire flock of the pitiful creatures and gleefully cursed them, twisting them into something monstrous. These were the first harpies. And upon hearing this, Demetrius says, "Do you see how nasty those two gods were? Good riddance." So Arcadia warns everybody to have wax for the to have earplugs and gives Tasklin part of a candle. And she asks Nico to ritual cast water breathing on us. Estrella is an amphibian dragon, so she can swim and breathes water. We have not seen her since yesterday, so Demetrius whistles for her. She flies very slowly with her head down and looks like she doesn't want to come. He asks her what's wrong, and she explains that the other dragons are making fun of her. And he encourages her to stand up for herself and challenge vengeance. In the 7 years he's known her, he has never seen her this defeated. But there is some secret that she knows, and Demetrius told her that Zeus needs to tell the secret to Nico, not her. But he says she can yell it to the dragons if they refuse to listen, and if the others hear it, too bad. And she says it's not her fault Aziz went crazy. And Demetrius tells her she should do things in her own time, and she thinks for a while, then goes over to the other dragons and speak to them in Draconic. And we find out that at one point, a tribe of centaurs, that when Demetrius was uniting the centaurs and they were fighting, they grievously wounded Estrella. And Demetrius wanted to go destroy that village as revenge. And this was when he and Nico were together. Corbin had already returned to Mitros to be with Versi. And Nico did not agree with this, and he abruptly took his leave. But Aziz, wanting to defend Estrella and have revenge, went with Demetrius and participated in raising that village and destroying that centaur tribe, and apparently loved eating the centaurs. But what he did was he lied to Vengeance and Nico, and told her that Estrella forced him to attack. And so now we find out that she did not. He did it on his own. Vengeance is very disappointed, but Nico is quite the generous person. He still loves him, Aziz, and as Aziz apologizes, he tells him he doesn't have to apologize to him. He did what he did, but he has to make amends somehow his own way, and he'll help him if he needs it. So now Estrella and Vengeance are friends again, and Estrella apparently loves hunting dolphins and shares one of her kills with Vengeance. We see Arcadia, Corbin, and Demetrius see about 15 to 20 feet below the surface, a long mass about 100 feet long and 30 feet wide, floating underneath the ship to the east. Although nothing happens, Arcadia recognizes it as something she has seen before when we were together more than 7 years ago. But it's bigger. And Demetrius calls for battle positions and gets some of the crew on the ballista, and some armed with javelins. And then Verena starts barking orders back and forth, and all the centaurs haul ass, and we see that it's a very well-oiled machine, like they've been practicing this for ages, and everyone is in position and ready within 20 seconds. And seeing this, Arcadia nods in approval. The two ogres go to the massive pile of rocks, and they each pick up a rock, revealing their purpose as living trebuchets. So Demetrius calls up to the crow's nest, and they call the all clear. And they think it was a drill, actually, because they didn't notice the creature like the three heroes did. And Verena looks over at Arcadia and says, "That's how it's done." And she walks away with Percolus on their arm, and they giggle as they walk away. They're acting very much like schoolgirls. Maybe Regina George, even, I would like to say. Verena and Regina, I think they rhyme. Anyway, Tasklin looks at that and says, "I always figured she liked women." We arrive within the next hour, and Tasklin's spells are largely lightning-based, so he warns us to stay away from him if he casts them in the water. He can't swim, and Demetrius suggests he ask Estrella. Now, remember, he insulted Estrella, so he ends up having to pay gold to get her to let him ride her. She has no real concept. She's young. She has no real concept of money. And he ends up giving her way more gold than really was necessary, but he has his mount now. As Demetrius jumps into the water, his ring of swimming begins glowing blue, and he looks like he is running underwater. Beneath each of his steps are blue lights. Nico wild shapes into a water elemental. Nico, before he wild shapes, he polymorphs Corbin into a giant octopus, and Arcadia dives into the water like someone who's very used to it. As we descend into the murky depths of the ocean, about 200 feet down, a glorious city slowly emerges through the dimly lit waters. Towers, spires, domes, and other magnificent structures are spread out across the ocean floor in a sprawling metropolis, still largely intact despite centuries beneath the waves. The basic architecture of the city has been overgrown with brightly colored coral that only accentuates the sunken city's beauty. On the southeast edge of the city, however, is a dark, gaping maw, an open chasm that extends deep into the ocean floor, swallowing them up, all light that enters. As we approach the edge of the city, we come across a scene of brutal violence. A score of merfolk are under attack from a hideous party of merrow. Wielding tridents and nets, the merfolk fight valiantly against their twisted brethren, but the merrow are bigger, stronger, and far more savage. Several of the merfolk are already badly wounded, with plumes of their blood slowly seeping into the surrounding waters. Unaware of the interlopers, one of the evil merfolk plunges a long spear into the belly of a hapless mermaid soldier, who cries out and clutches feebly at the thick shaft now protruding from her stomach. The merrow twists the weapon, then rips it free. The mermaid shudders once, then goes still. We engage in battle. And at the end of it, because Arcadia actually can speak a strange language that these creatures understand, but doesn't seem to be getting anywhere with them. Um, we try to get in between of the battle and just make them stop, but they won't. So we end up tying up two of the merfolk, and Demetrius has one of the merrow in his arms, grappling it, and we are trying to like get it so we can interrogate it. It ends up Astrea ends up biting it because she's kind of in a battle rage, and it's out. And Demetrius revives it, but then it reacts by biting him, and in his reaction, he just cuts its head off. So we end up talking to the two remaining merfolk, and we find out that they are in a war, that the Merrow keep on trying to invade and take over the kingdom. And so they will take us to their king. And they don't seem to know, though, who Sidon is. And they warn us if we try anything crazy in their city, their gods will smite us. Meanwhile, Astrea in the battle, she seems to enjoy frightening them. And they think that she is Scylla reborn. We end the session on our 12th day reunited deep in the ocean at the sunken city.
Yay!
And regarding the Scylla Reborn, wasn't Scylla that Hydra that we fought?
I don't know.
I think it was something like that. I remember the name vaguely. Maybe I'm wrong.
Alright, so we are on our way up to the castle being escorted. Is there anything anyone wanted to say or do anything before we get there?
Yeah, I guess me. I will. Demetrius will walk up next to the swimming Arcadia, which I guess would make a bit of an awkward conversation. Like one person is like swimming like regular swimming, and one person is just walking next to her. And he says, "You know what, Arcadia? I've been meaning to ask. You just talk to these fish people in their fish language. How?"
She says, I've always loved languages, and it's something I learned when I was a child, when being on an island.
Oh, you study languages, huh? Because you know a lot of them. Is that a passion of yours?
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like if I put my mind to something, if I'm really interested in something, it seems to come to me fairly easily.
Well, maybe you found your calling in life, aside from being a hero, of course. You could be
Maybe.
some kind of language expert or translator.
Something to do after the Odyssey. Who knows?
I always feel
we'll say something in octopus to see if she knows it.
Does it come out like a...
All right, well, that was it for me.
Right.
I know Nico in wild shape of the water elemental can speak Aquan. but I don't know if he can relate to Octopus Corbin. If Octopus Corbin wants to stay in octopus form.
Octopus
Yes.
Octopus do not actually speak a language. I looked it up.
No.
Just blah, 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 blah,
They
blah.
are smart.
Yeah.
They are smart, so maybe.
Not this one.
Octopus Corbin.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Corbin. Yeah, we know.
They have an intelligence of 4.
Poor guy.
Octopus Corbin seems happy enough.
Okay, all right. So I guess we'll stay in wild shape and polymorph form during this. We can't speak, so.
All right. Cool. So coming up, rising up above the surrounding structures is a magnificent palace. The high walls and circular towers on each corner are covered with multicolored coral, carefully groomed and tended so that it grows in a pattern that forms the sigil of the merfolk king. A pair of crossed tridents above a giant squid. The iron gates of this palace stand open, but several heavily armored merfolk stand guard outside to dissuade anyone from entering without invitation. But they... go ahead.
I will put my hand on Taskelin's shoulder, or I guess call out to him since he's riding Astrea. I'll say, "Why don't you be careful with what you say here?"
Are you honestly telling me to be careful about what I say? You're not the most diplomatic person yourself, Demetrius.
Oh, please, I've got this. Don't worry.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
And I will begin walking into the palace.
Right, and as you walk in, a very nicely, beautifully dressed merfolk swims up and asks, "May I ask for your names for the announcement?"
So yeah, I'm,
Thank God the
Demetrius.
herald isn't there.
I'll say, I'm Demetrius.
I am Arcadia of Themis.
And they look at Squid Corbin.
He is Corbin.
Look at Water Nico.
He is Nico.
And then he looks at Taskelin.
I am Taskelin Galanis.
Taskelin Glannis. Thank you! Please come.
Actually, she says his name is actually Nicodemus.
Nicodemus. So this one, and he points at Taskelin, so this one is Nicodemus?
No, and she points towards the water elemental.
And he nods.
And Demetrius will say to Arcadia, "You know what? I actually kind of miss the guy. Harold would have been useful here."
We don't have that much time, Demetrius. She looks at him. Smile.
And
I guess we'd enter.
And as you enter, you're escorted by 6 guards on either side. You enter the palace and are led to the throne room. A kingly merman sits upon a golden chair, his powerful tail curled up beneath him. A thick white beard covers his face, and a bejeweled silver crown rests upon his brow. And he kind of looks like this. And scattered about the throne room are more guards as well as other members of the royal courts. As this man, the merfolk who just asked all your names, says, "Welcome. This is King Pontus, third of his name, leader of the city of Trattoria, high priest of the God's will, 20-time champion of the great games, purveyor of the trident." And as this guy is about to, and "King, may I present?" And then you hear a poof, and right next to you is a centaur who is Harold, dressed. He's kind of in a water bubble.
What the hell?
And he says, "King, this is the noble paladin Lord Demetrius, first of his name, Avatar of the Divine Stallion, Protector of Thylia," and he's going to go through all the titles that I'm not going to say this. And he ends with Beheader of the traitor Agrius, and these are his loyal subjects. Does Tascalin says how?
Yeah, he's just looking absolutely like eye twitching and just has no idea how the herald just appeared here.
Arcadia looks at the herald and says, "We are not his loyal subjects, and you need to fix that."
And Demetrius will say,
Demetrius
yes, that's
immediately-
right. They are my fellow heroes. They aided me in all of these matters. Well, most of them.
Right.
But immediately, Arcadia would drop to one knee and say, in Aquan, Your Majesty. Put her fist on her chest and bow her head.
And so Pontus stands up. He says, no, he does not. He tilts his head in your direction and looks at you with his dark, probing eyes and says in common, "It has been many years since we have had visitors from the surface world. Tell me, why are you here?"
And Demetrius say, "Good king, we are here on a quest to save all of Thylea, including the Sunken Kingdom. We seek the Promethean fire."
The Promethean fire, and exactly what is that?
You do not know? It is supposed to be a relic of immense power.
He kind of scratches his head. Relic of immense power. Well, we don't have any of those things here. Maybe our gods have better help. Get better help with that.
Your gods, eh? I am not familiar with them. We have some gods up on the mainland, but we've never heard of any undersea gods.
Yes, we have the Sky Father, the Fire King, the Moon Maiden, the Great Hunter, the Fish Queen, and the Sun Goddess.
Are you familiar with the name Sidon?
No, what is a Sidon?
I see. Well, on land he is, he was a god, and they say that it is he who was responsible for sinking your city into the ocean.
He gives you a look and...
They say you used to worship him and sing songs for him.
But the city has always been on the ocean floor. We built it that way. Well, my predecessors, of course.
I see.
Could Tascalin do an insight check for the king?
Sure.
Or on the king.
Sure.
See if he's telling the truth about the Prometheus fire and the city.
You know, I'm gonna do that too.
Okay.
Where's that thing? Here it is.
You both believe that he is telling the truth. At least that he thinks he is telling the truth. That makes sense. Like what
is your city?
What he is telling you is what he believes. Arcadia also believes that.
How old is your city?
Our city, let's see, and he looks over at, and he says, "Herald, how old is the city?" And the herald says, "Sir, the city is 402 years old."
And just out of character, this legend of the sinking city, was that before the Oath of Peace, or was that like 500 years-ish ago?
I don't think it actually said.
But Tascalin will swim next to Demetrius and whisper to him, "May I indulge? I just want to ask a question."
By all means.
And Tascalin will turn to the king and go down to one knee and just like, well, no, he won't go to one knee, but he'll bow respectfully. Your Majesty, may I ask a question? When we came here, we saw some of your citizens being attacked by some creatures I'm not familiar with.
Marrow. Those are
Marrow.
Those have been twisted evil creatures.
Yes, they definitely were hideous, I will admit to that. But where do they come from?
They came from the depths. That is the legend. That is all we have known.
Do they have a city?
If they do, we have no idea where it would be.
How long have they been a problem for you and your people? Were they here before the city?
We have been attacked by them for... And he looks... Harold, how long have they been at war? And he says, for the last 200 years, my lord.
I see. Thank you for indulging me. That's all I want to know. And he'll turn his head back to Demetrius for him to continue his line of questions.
I'll say,
So
What-
they've been
oh, sorry,
fighting.
you go.
They've been fighting for 200 years, and the city itself, he thinks, is 402 years old, right?
Correct.
And Demetrius will say, what about the sirens?
Sirens? What, well, we have a siren if you want to use it. And he, kind of looks at you quizzically.
You do not know about the underwater race, the sirens? And Demetrius will describe how they look, since they met a few of them.
And he shakes his head. No, it's just Merfolk and the Marrow, as far as we know, that are at least sentient that you have described.
I see. All right. Would you allow us to meet some of your gods? Where can we find them?
Yeah, you most certainly can try. And he says it's across the chasm. You can't miss this district.
All right. And
Basically, if you're looking at the map, he points over there.
is there anything else in the city that we should know about? Is there anything going on here? Or is everything...
No, it's pretty peaceful around here. It's outside of the standard Marrow attacks. You're free to roam the city if you wish. Just don't do any funny business.
There have been no other land dwellers in the city? Man in a black robe or giants?
You're the first that we have seen in some time.
All right. Well, thank you for your welcome.
Yes. And on the map, if you look at this map, like the little red dots, kind of like points of interest that I put out for use.
Demetrius, I don't think this is the sunken city that we are looking for. If this indeed they built it themselves.
Perhaps. Or perhaps something else happened that made them forget their history. I think we should talk to these gods and find out what's really going on here.
Well, and Arcadia would point out that, the maybe they rebuilt the city over it.
Yes,
So,
but gods do not just appear out of thin air, and forgetting your own gods, that seems odd to me. Does anyone else have any business to discuss with the king?
Arcadia would just thank him, like as Demetrius did, for his welcome.
Waternigo shakes his water head.
And before we leave, I will use divine sense on the king and his court.
And as you are doing that, Squid Corbin, you feel something poke you.
I look around.
And you see a little girl with bright red hair staring up at you with big bright eyes.
Aww.
I will wave my tentacles at her.
And she waves back. And you hear Triton say, leave our guest alone, little one.
Is her name Ariel?
He does not give the name. Divine sense, you do not pick up anything from the king and his court.
Alright.
Are we still coming up as Celestial?
You all still have a slight glow for what it is worth, Demetrius.
And I will bow to the king and begin taking my leave.
And you see your herald swim up to the other herald, and it looks like they are communicating, but in but no words have been spoken. And then he swims off.
And I'll call him over, the herald.
Yes, my lord.
And I'll say, Herald, you are well versed in the history of this land, are you not?
As much as I can be.
How? What do you make of the legend of the Sunken Kingdom that we know and the story that the king just gave us?
Well, something smells fishy about all this, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Could both stories be true? Could this Sunken Kingdom have sunk 420 years ago?
It is possible. I shall do more research if you allow me.
Well, alright, but I'm not sure how long we will be investigating this place. By the way, do you know that King's Herald?
Yeah, we have, yeah. He's like very dismissive.
You lead a mysterious life, Demetrius will say, and then dismiss him.
And he bows and swims after the other herald.
When Tasklin gets outside the palace, he's going to look around at the architecture to see, does it look like it's all like made for underwater, or does some of it seem like it was some point above land?
I might have a picture somewhere.
Smart man.
No, yeah, I might have a picture somewhere. Let me look for it.
What? Before we go across there, what is the point of interest direct? Like the two ones that are close to us. I'm guessing as we're kind of swimming, we could probably just see them like we're flying.
Yeah. Give me a second, though.
Yeah, once we are out on the street, Demetrius will say, these people have lost their memory and been manipulated. I suspect these gods may be behind it.
That's kind of what this city looks like.
So none of it looks like it was ever above ground, because it's just not.
Well, I would say these look like land buildings. I mean, I don't see any holes to swim in from the top.
That's true. And glad. Does it look like it's were at some point land buildings, but were retrofitted for the life underwater, maybe?
Give me... What kind of check do you want to make?
History, maybe?
Sure.
History, okay.
You don't even know. You don't even know that these are buildings.
Ah, well, one.
Yeah, you rolled a 1, of course.
No.
But Arcadia, yes, they do look like most of these buildings were at one time above water.
She would share that with the party.
Taskell rolled a 1.
So, when Arcadia tells him that, he's going to put it cup his chin or cup his chin in his fingers and just kind of if that's the case, and like Demetrius was saying, they forgot about their past, or maybe they just found this place and made it their own. The Prometheus fire could still be here, but maybe they just don't know where it is.
Indeed, I agree. But I have no doubt that these gods know more of what is going on, and that they may perhaps be behind it all.
If there's gods here, chances are they're the ones that possess the Promethean fire, and they have not alluded to that to the people living here.
Well, let's be honest, our kings would not know where the other 2 items would have been either. That's always been something the gods or the oracles hoard for themselves.
But if the gods do have it, chances of them wanting to part with it is very slim. We might have to conduct a heist if we're really that determined.
Well, a few more dead gods won't do any harm.
There's no point in, if they're not evil gods, there's no point in killing them, Demetrius, or challenging them.
Well, I think you'll find that every god we've met so far has been dishonest, deceiving, except for the stallion, of course.
And we are certain we want to join their ranks by completing this spell? If that is indeed the case, Demetrius?
We will do what we must to stop Gravik and keep Thalia safe.
And just become another blight on this society in that case, if we're all gods are destined to be, as you say?
A blight? Do you think we would be a blight on society?
Perhaps not at first, but who knows in 1,000 years.
If we become evil in 1,000 years, then heroes will rise to stop us.
It would be a shame in order for it to come to that, but... Well,
Then we'll
we
just
should
have
probably...
to make sure that we don't turn evil.
Yes, unfortunately, as I was once told, though I did not hold much weight to it, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
I don't agree with that sentiment, but I've also learned one thing, that godhood isn't quite the same as absolute power. It's just being somewhat stronger.
We'll have to wait and see then. Where are these gods so that we may have an audience with them? Should we give away our intentions immediately, or should we fringe ignorance?
Well, let's see how far we can get and see how much information we can get for them, but if we don't mention the Prometheus fire at all, then we won't have any hints as to where it may be. We don't even know what it looks like.
Perhaps not bring forth our desire to possess the fire, but maybe just pose as pilgrims wishing to see its light.
That could work, but you know that I'm not good with lying.
Neither
I'll
am
let you
I.
talk to them.
I'm not exactly... I've never had to deceive people. I've usually just gotten what I wanted with persuasion. But he's gonna look at the group. Arcadia, are you fluent in deception?
I do not like to lie.
He'll look towards Corbin and Nico, but seeing that they're still in their altered shapes, he's not going to bother asking them anything.
So you notice when you look over at Corbin that Corbin is squeezing himself into a very tight spot, and like in a building.
What is he doing? But
I think he thinks he's an octopus.
Well, he's not good. Oh, sorry. He's not outside of character. He's not going to be one very long because we're almost up to an hour.
Oh no!
Yes, you are.
But
Pop back into.
yeah, since he does pop back into human
Yep.
form while he's wedged into a very tight space.
Then he'll be stuck.
Yeah.
Nico
And,
can stay in wild shape for 9 hours, though.
Right,
Let
Nico, can you get him out of there? Just talk to animals or whatever you do.
Corbin will allow himself to be coaxed out of the tight space.
Let us.
If you offer him a
Let us
gold
go to-
coin, because he likes shiny objects now.
Well, let us go find their temples and see if we can't have an audience with their gods.
All right, so
Let's
they mentioned
while we're there-
he mentioned the temples over there.
Can we see what those other ones are that are really close by just by looking, or would that involve investigation?
So as you swim out, looking over there, you see that it seems like a little marketplace. And then looking over here, you see a bunch of towers of coral rising up. But that is all you can see from your vantage points.
Well, do we want to do some shopping?
No, do you want to just see what they have, or should we just go straight to the temple? Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I mean, I have all the stuff I want. I'm not sure if anyone else needs anything.
go to the temple. That seems to be our best lead right now. We can check that stuff out later.
All right, to the temple it is.
Wow, there's like a point of interest in the point of interest.
Alright, I guess we need to swim up to the nearest guy and ask him where the nearest guy
Well, what's the thing in the middle?
Okay, anyone? His thing is lighting up, but there's no audio.
What the fuck?
There you're
There
back.
you go.
Oh, what
There
the?
you are.
I didn't even do anything. What the hell? Okay, so you swim this is how you kind of swim into this district. Scattered about this area are numerous statues of various sizes. While several different entities are represented among them, the majority depict the same figure, a tall, angelic being. He is commonly shown brandishing a flaming sword with his broad wings outstretched.
An angelic being, does it have wings? Yeah, oh yeah.
With his broad wings outstretched.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Just see the
That
sun
looks-
thing on the Sunken
that looks
Kingdom.
godlike. So yeah, we just would swim up to the nearest guy and ask him where's the nearest god.
And he points, he points in that direction, since that is the nearest one.
Right, we would go towards that building, try to enter it.
Alright, so coming in, the walls of this large open chamber are covered with art depicting scenes of savage battles and glorious hunts. The center of the room, a towering man sits on a massive golden throne, glaring out angrily from his perch. At the foot of the throne are three scowling and battered-scarred storm giants. And this
Storm
person,
Storm giants.
and this
Storm
person,
Giant's in the ocean.
and this person appears as a 20-foot tall human with long black hair.
Pascal
when we,
will quickly look around the temple for any what this god's name is.
Give me an investigation.
And when we get close enough, I will use divine sense.
Investigation or perception, because
You are looking around trying to find a name. That is investigation.
god damn it.
Jesus Christ. Change your color dice. Or your dice.
Another one.
Another one, yeah, exactly.
Oof.
Arcadia's looking around too.
You do not find his name.
Pasquin starts looking around and immediately goes cross-eyed.
Corbin, also, you do not find any shiny objects. So, as you come in... What? Go ahead.
Are there any, devotees, worshippers just milling around besides the giants?
They are not.
Shit. He'll walk in, look around, and then quickly walk outside and look around for some people, swimming around or just loitering.
Yeah, you find one.
He's gonna quickly swim over to one and just excuse me, what is the god's name in there? We're new here.
And they blub in Aquan.
He's going to quickly swim back inside, locate Arcadia, and swim over to her. I need a translator, Arcadia.
I think she goes with him.
And you ask You know their language, right?
It seems I do.
Can you ask them what this god's name is so we don't offend him?
Okay. So she'll go to a next, nearest merfolk and say, greetings, we're not from here. Can you tell us the name and perhaps the history of this god? We are learning about them.
They say his name is the Great Hunter, and he has been here since before. As have all the gods, they have been here before the land has been built. Ametris, you said you're waiting inside?
Yeah, I'm waiting by the entrance for everyone to gather, and then I will. We will approach.
So you and Water Nico, you see Corbin swimming up to this god.
Oh God! And I will hiss at Nico, "Get him back! Summon him or something."
Wait, is he? Wait. Oh.
He's gonna get one shot.
Never mind. I thought this was, for some reason, this is just me, not enough caffeine. I thought these were statues. These are actually live. Arcadia was put in Oh.
There is no Gorgio.
His mic is bugged out. While we're waiting, he goes stuck. That's funny.
Gorgio has to play out the rest of the campaign as an octopus.
What the hell? Hello? Hello?
It's odd because his Discord is lighting up.
Hello?
Yeah, I can see it. I can hear him.
Again?
You can?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Hey!
What the fuck? Like, I don't get it. Sus.
Very sus.
Okay, so as you are swimming up to wave, I guess everyone's like, "Oh no!" And this god looks over at Squid Nico or Squid Corbin, and then looks at Arcadia, and his eyes narrow.
She will drop to one knee and bow her head and say, "Greetings, Great Hunter. We are here to pay our respects and learn about you. We are visitor."
You are an Amazon.
She says, "Yes."
What is an Amazon doing down here?
My companions and I are here visiting the sunken city in search of new cultures, and we're here to learn about your city? We heard that it was the city of the sirens, but no one seems to know about that.
And he kind of looks at you, and that is the only reason why you're down here.
She knows she is terrible at lying, and she doesn't like lying either. And she goes, we are trying to save this world from an evil influence, and we believe that there may be an item here that will help us defeat him.
Reference the, and he kind of coaxes it out of you.
Oh no!
And she will say the Promethean fire.
And he says, well, I know how you can find it, but you must destroy a very powerful creature.
And what creature might that be?
Scylla, of course.
And she would ask gosh, I'm remembering my Greek mythology. She would say, what kind of creature is Scylla?
Scylla is a many-headed creature. Very evil, never-ending hunger.
Can
does
Haskell
this
do it?
Wait.
She will ask, is this creature, if you cut off one of its heads, does it grow it back?
It grows two, as legend has been told.
Ooh, another Hydra, she says.
No. Worse. Hydra's.
Haskell do a history check to see if he's heard of this name before, this creature?
Sure.
It sounds really familiar to me. I swear we've heard it before.
Change your dice.
Was that another one?
It was a 2.
Holy shit. Haskell's brain is just like the water, I guess, is just frying his brain.
I'll say, noble lord of the hunt, it is good to meet you. I have some questions for you.
Speak, Centaur.
Do you know of the name Sidon?
And he looks at you for a second. What about Sidon? Are you an ally of his?
No, we have slain him.
And he looked like he was getting pissed for a second, then calms back down, and you have slain him.
Well, all of us together. We have slain Sidon and Lotharia. Their reign of terror over the land is over.
And naturally, the Amazon dealt the killing blow, correct? And looks at Arcadia.
No, it was, he was screaming and we all struck him down together. You seem to have a great respect for the Amazons.
They are
What
hunters.
does an underwater god know of them?
They are great hunters. I also am something of a hunter.
Have you visited the Amazons in the past?
When they were still figuring things out.
I do not understand. Everything we have been taught about the origins of the gods, it says nothing of you and the other gods in the city. Where did you come from?
We came from above, of course. Your history, naturally will leave things out. Let's say, yeah, we were.
Are you
Go ahead.
Are you also the children of Thylea and Kentamane?
We are children of something else.
Something else? There's more.
But Haskell will raise his hand as though he has something to ask or say.
Yes, boy.
He'll ignore the boy comment. We are currently looking to end a disciple of Sidon in Lutheria, who is currently looking to usurp their position as gods of the surface. Any assistance that you can provide about finding this flame or fighting this creature to acquire it would be grateful. I'm sure you would not want another Sidon to rise.
Well, seek out my brothers and sisters, and I'm sure they can help the rest of you. But for the Amazon, I will send her one of my chols. It will be a faithful companion and will defend you in combat.
And she bows her head, and again, she's still at one knee, and she says, I'm grateful.
How come your people do not know of the history of the land, or the name Sidon?
He does not respond.
And what happened to the sirens in this city?
They went somewhere else. They abandoned this place.
I see. And who are the Marrows?
Evil.
Do they also serve an underwater god?
They serve Scylla.
Why have you gods not slain Scylla yourselves?
It is not on us to do. Let's just say we kind of like hanging out here. It's a nice little city.
Very well.
And that is what
That
a
is
chol.
one creepy thing.
That is what a chol
Yeah,
looks
it
like.
Wow.
We shall visit your brothers and sisters. Thank you for the information.
And this large,
Taste.
it's a large creature too, and it swims up to Arcadia and waits for her.
She'll say greetings to it in Aquan. Does it seem to understand her?
It does not.
Okay. She will bow to her head to it, or just nod at it.
And it kind of bows low.
And she says, Great Hunter, how might I communicate with it?
It speaks. Do you understand deep speech? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out what that
okay.
is.
Sorry. I was like, did I cut out again?
No. I don't know. She doesn't actually. I don't think. I mean, she understands a lot of stuff, but not specifically deep speech.
And
If she says no, then Amicia says give it a week.
give it a week. And it says, well, it will.
Oh,
What?
but she does remember something. She's. Let me see. Well, go ahead. What is he going to say?
That it will follow you, and all you have to do is point, and it will point at what you want it to attack, and it will do so.
Ah, great.
And he's kind of looking, and anything else?
I don't think so. That was it.
You may leave my temple now.
Amicia will leave.
Water Nico bows.
And once the entire party is outside, Amicia would say,
Yeah, Arcadia would linger once more, and she will say, "You are correct, Great Hunter. I did deal the killing blow to Sidon, but it was a group effort."
I expected nothing less from an Amazon.
And she will bow and say, "You have my gratitude for your gift and your hospitality." And she will get up and walk backwards and leave.
All right.
and once Arcadia joins the rest, Amicia would say, I sense the powerful magic from him. Yeah. He does He seems to be a god indeed. A real one.
And about this time, Squid Corbin is no more.
Oh no!
Never heard of him.
So he's gonna have trouble moving around then, because he doesn't swim, right? We'll just drag him along.
Just drag him along.
Well, can't he mount that shield thing?
If Arcadia allows it.
Or someone could cast freedom of movement on me.
Wasting those spell slots for like an hour of movement
Yeah,
is not worth it at the moment.
it'd be easier to cast polymorph on you again.
Hmm.
Well, no,
Well,
it
honestly,
wouldn't.
I would
They're
just
both
wait
the-
until
they're
we-
both the same.
Yeah, we don't.
I would
mean,
wait
we'll
until we
just-
hit combat.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
wait till
I mean-
combat and then I'll get you. Whatever you want. I can polymorph you
I mean,
into
He
anything.
could just ride one of the dragons, right? Vengeance. He could just ride Vengeance. She has a swim speed
Yeah.
now because she's been freedom of movemented.
Oh,
Yeah, but
okay.
doesn't that only last an hour?
It only lasts an hour.
Well, it's fine. Like these places seem close
I'll
together.
just swim
so,
slowly for now.
so let's go to the next temple.
Which one?
Left, right, center.
Yeah, left, right, center. They're all about the same distance.
Yeah, I guess the left one. And I'm curious to say, I'm surprised. I expected an imposter like usual, but it seems that he's a legitimate god. Perhaps you Amazons should worship him instead of Kentimane. He seems to fit your culture and lifestyle a lot more.
So, as you come into here, this magnificent structure is made not of stone, but from coral. The walls and ceiling are bone white and emblazoned with the pattern of 1,000,000 seashells. Instead of altars or statues, the interior is filled with brightly colored branches of living coral, twisting and intertwining in delicate shapes to form a wondrous garden. And sitting amongst them is a 16-foot tall mermaid. She is armored with coral and wields a beautiful trident. A conch horn hangs around her neck on a cord.
So she's 20 foot tall, huh?
16.
16 foot.
16. And you see Amisha's eyes go wide, and he seems to be interested in this woman. And he'll say, I've got this, guys, don't worry. And he will fix his armor a little bit and take off his helmet and straighten his shoulders, and he will begin marching up to her confidently. What did you say, Arcadia?
Arcadia would start to ask a passerby about, but then she would see Demetrius march confidently into the temple and decide it would be better if she followed him.
And as he reaches her, he will do a curtsy, like a royal bow, and he will say, "Greetings, fair lady. To whom do I owe the honor of meeting?"
And she looks down at you. And then looks away.
And Amisha raises his eyebrow to say, "Fair lady, have I somehow given you offense?"
And she looks over at Water Nico and looks down at Demetrius and gives Demetrius like a ew kind of look. And looks back over at Water Nico.
And Amisha looks over at Nico and spots that she seems to be interested in what appears to be a living mass of water. And then looks back at her and then back at Nico. And he frowns disappointed.
Nico puts his water hands out as just, what do you want from me? So, Water Nico speaks up in Aquan of, "Fair mermaid, we are travelers from the surface in search of object down here to help us in our battles up above. May I ask your name?"
I am the Fish Queen. And what is yours, fine man?
My name is Nicodemus.
That is a champion's name.
It is, for I am the champion. Although I take form of this water elemental, I am actually a dwarf.
A dwarf, you say? And her eyes kind of like grow big.
Yes, 'tis true.
And what is it that you want from me?
A little insight of your godhood and your followers. Perhaps something that can help us along our battles, for we seek to go in the Great Pit.
Ah, the Great Pits. So you decide to face Scylla.
It's coming to that.
What's up, Caesar? And she says, well then, assuming you were not able to be a beautiful elemental forever, and she will blow her conch horn, and a giant shark appears that is completely white in color and has a harness around its neck. And says, this creature will serve as a loyal mount for you.
And Water Nico says, sick!
It is a huge, giant shark.
Wow.
Nice.
And looks at
Those are very nice.
looks at the troll like it wants to eat it. No, I'm joking.
And you see Astrea staring at the shark as if she wants to eat it.
Well, everybody
Astrea,
wants to
no.
eat everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's just a regular.
What is your name, so I may thank you properly?
I am referred to as the Fish Queen.
The Fish Queen. Thank you, my Fish Queen. This is something that I shall cherish during our battles.
Very well, and I do wish you the best of luck facing Scylla.
And Water Nico swims over to the shark and mounts it and grabs the harness.
And it seems like it gets weighed down by you for a second with your huge mass, and then it starts swimming around.
Well, it's been an interesting meeting. I will depart, and Amitrus begins leaving.
Did somebody say something?
Water Nico
Okay.
points to Demetrius. Never mind him. He's quite taken back by your beauty.
As I'm sure, as all centaurs are.
Arcadia would have bowed as usual to her and leave.
She gives a slight nod to you.
Since Nico's a little heavy, he's going to drop his water shape, his wild shape.
Okay.
And as he's doing that, I guess the Fish Queen will see him in his real form. And Arcadia would say in Aquan to her, "Thank you for your welcome."
And she says, "My pleasure. Good luck on your upcoming battle."
I've got a shark, everyone.
Nice.
And the shark starts summing. Do 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 do.
Oh no.
On to the next temple, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, which one?
Middle.
Okay. So as you swim over here, there is an eerie sense of decay and disrepair in this abandoned temple. The woven hangings on the wall are frayed and torn, and the altars are eroded and crumbling. Dark, oily waters swirl around like black smoke, obscuring large parts of the temple from view. And
And what?
No.
Oh, well. Seems like we need to move on to the next. Be abandoned.
Maybe we should look at this one a little. I'll
yeah, it's.
I'll poke my
I'm
head
gonna
inside,
investigate.
see if I see anything in there.
Other than what I have described, you do not.
If I approach it, does anything change?
Does not.
All right. So I don't see anything in there.
Other than what I described.
All right.
Want to go to the one to the southeast?
Like, what about the parts of the temple that are obscured? Can I go in there and see if there's anything in the obscure area?
Yeah, you go in there. Do you have dark vision? I think you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't see anything.
All right.
Can we make out
Moving
anything
on.
on the woven? Can we make out anything on the woven hangings?
You can give me some kind of check. It is impossible to make out what they are. Like what they used to be, if that makes sense.
Okay. Should we go to the one to the southeast?
Yeah.
And as you start swimming out to that temple, you hear some giggling coming from inside of the temple.
But on the way to the temple, Arcadia would say to
I would, if I
Demetrius-
heard that, I would go back.
Wait, we hear giggling from inside the temple we're just leaving, or the one we're going towards?
The one that you are just leaving. Like, as you turn around to swim out, you hear giggling.
Amitrius would send in Astrea. She has a blind sense. And she would circle the temple to see if there's any invisible creatures.
And so she does, and after a few seconds, she comes swimming out. Her eyes like bright, and she looks scared.
Inside the temple.
And she comes out, her eyes big, and looks scared.
And you say, "What did you see?"
Ghosts.
Huh. I will.
Astray is
Go
a
to the
child.
temple.
There's probably nothing. This is a
Go to
place
the
of
temple.
worship. I'm sure it's
Hold
safe.
on. Let me check to be sure. I will use divine sense.
Yeah, careful
in the
about.
temple.
Don't insult Estrella, especially since she's carrying you around.
Yeah, right? You do pick up a celestial being inside of that temple that appears more powerful than the last one that you used it on, if that makes sense.
I will move towards where I sense it. The location.
Okay.
You know the location. Yeah, I go towards it.
And as you go towards it, the giggling stops, and appearing in front of you is a creature. He appears to be a 20-foot tall Gigan, and he is completely like white, like an albino white. He is dressed in black robes and carries a long spear.
And Amitrius will politely bow his head. Not in a, like he's like not kneeling or anything. They say,
"You found me." Good job.
Greetings, foreign god, and I found you indeed. And who might you be?
Good job. You must be related to my brother.
Who is your brother?
The Sky Father, of course. Silly.
The what, father?
Sky. S-K-Y.
Does he live in one of these temples?
Of course.
Well, and who are you?
I have many names. But
What would be one of them?
But you may call me Doc.
Doc. Very well.
Yeah. Doc.
We what do you know of the Promethean fire?
Oh, I know many things.
Do you know where it is?
I know where it was.
Where was that?
Not with you.
You are an interesting god. Tell me, do you also have something for us?
Something like what?
Well, the other gods seem to have bestowed us with gifts to battle the creature known as Scylla.
Well, the other gods are little pansy asses.
You are a powerful god indeed.
Of course I am.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the little game of hide and seek. I suppose we will return. We will go and visit the other gods.
Have fun. And he turns back into like wisp and like disappears.
And Amitrius will look at Taskman and say, I guess Estrella wasn't that crazy after all.
Pascaline didn't go in with him just yet. He's still waiting for Amitrius to come out from the darkness.
Oh yeah, Amitrius will come out and then say that to Tasklin, and then say that he met a god named Doc, who seems to be considerably more powerful than the other gods, and that he wasn't there to share any information. He was just playing games.
Perhaps I'll go have a word with him, see what he has to say.
I'm not sure you're going to get anything out of him. He's the type that likes to play word games and simply not answer your questions.
Couldn't it hurt? Might as well. We've gotten a boon from all the other gods. Perhaps we're just not asking the right questions.
You can go in if you like, if you can find him.
He'll look at the darkness and then he'll step through into it is it a magical darkness?
It is.
And Estrella will stay out of the temple waiting for Tasklin because she's afraid of this god.
He'll go in and look around like, Doc, are you here?
And you hear right behind you, yes.
And he'll jump a little and turn around.
And you see nothing there.
I see. So what? My friend, he kind of says with like some hesitance, came in and spoke with you. I said that you are not cooperating. I guess is not the best word for this, but is there a reason you are not deciding to help us in our efforts?
What efforts are those, human boy?
To kill the creature and acquire the Prometheus flame.
Prometheus flame? Interesting. What is Prometheus to you?
I suppose it's a means to an end.
A means to an end. Well, if you really want an end, I could give you an end.
I'm not looking for that type of end, God. I am just looking for a way to prevent another god from performing acts of harm to others.
So you want me to give you something for you to go and do something else? Is that the question, or is that what I'm getting at, little boy?
Yeah. I am just looking for some assistance in completing my task.
And what do I get out of it?
What do you wish to get out of it?
I want a lot of things.
Well, in this particular case, what do you want?
How about you answer some riddles for me?
Riddles? Fine. I am not the greatest at riddles, but I will try and answer them for you.
Okay, you get 30 seconds per each question.
And what happens if I get them wrong?
You get to leave here.
I see. Okay. What is your first riddle?
What question can you never answer yes to?
What question can you never answer yes to?
Tick tock.
8 riddles.
And you start to hear the Jeopardy theme song playing.
I'm afraid this eludes me, the answer to this question, or riddle.
sad. Okay, well, that's best 2 out of 3, so we'll do one more. Or see if you get this one correctly. What? I
My
have...
allies, they might be better suited for
Oh,
this kind of
no. This is between me and you, little one.
thing. I see. Then answer your... ask your next riddle.
I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?
You have cities, but no buildings. Mountains, but no trees.
I think I know the answer.
Shit. I've never been good at riddles.
Five, 3, 2, 1. Aww. Sucks for you.
Your riddles are quite complex, I must say, unfortunately.
Well, you may leave.
Are they?
Yeah, very well. He'll swim out and go and leave the darkness. It's like he wants to play games of riddles.
I told you, he's that type of god. He's like, one of those trickster gods.
Who here is good with these kind of things? Riddles have never been my thing.
I don't think any of us are.
Do you, Caesar? What was the first
Look
one?
over to Acadia.
Crushing some rocks.
What was the first one, Caesar?
I could try.
Sort of, but yeah.
Probably need as much all the help we can get.
That is
I
correct.
suggest
That's
if you, we might as well give it a try for the most part. And he'll move out of the way for Acadia to enter the temple.
Okay. She'll go in there and she will kneel and say, "Doc, are you here?"
No response.
And she says, "Well, we thank you for allowing us to enter your temple, and I will take my leave." And so she leaves.
Alright.
Corbin will
And
go
she
in.
said,
Uh-oh. Corbin's gonna go in and start smashing shit.
Corbin walks into the darkness and he says, "Doc, Doc."
Yes.
Can you help me? I am not very good at riddles, though.
No.
Can you help me if I try your riddle?
Possibly.
Okay, I will try your riddle.
Okay. What is at the end of a rainbow?
Nothing?
Is that your final answer?
It doesn't end, I don't think.
Is that your final answer?
Maybe
You cut it.
I mean,
He cut out.
pot of gold.
He
I will say W.
It says, you're not as dumb as you look. Question 2. A man goes out for a walk during a storm with nothing to protect him from the rain. He doesn't have a hat, a hood, or an umbrella. But by the end of his walk, there isn't a single wet hair on his head. Why doesn't the man have wet hair?
He's bald.
Correct. Good job.
He's what?
He's bald.
Oh, what the hell?
Good job.
I kind of like you, Duck. You ask sensible questions.
I also like you, young man. Now,
So
what
have
do you
I
want?
passed your test?
Now, what do you want?
Is there anything you can provide that will help us in our coming battle with Bacillus?
I can give you my thoughts and prayers.
Ah, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
One more
But-
thing before I go. Oh,
Okay.
Go ahead. What do you say?
Okay, go ahead.
I would say, Doc.
Who is there?
Orange.
Orange shoe.
Aren't you glad it's not the centaur again?
Oh my god, that was so funny. He starts dying laughing.
I would say, well, I appreciate your thoughts and prayers. I hope it is enough for us.
Oh, goodness.
You can do it.
Are you sure there's nothing else you can give?
Nope. Not today.
Okay. Well, I will see you later. I will go out. And I'll say, well, at least he agreed to give us his prayers.
His prayers.
You seem pretty nice. Ask very reasonable questions, unlike others I've run into.
Right. And I guess after that we go to the southeast temple.
Alright.
And on the way, Arcadia would say to Demetrius, there's no harm in being respectful to these gods. We don't know them, we don't know how powerful they are. You say they have reason to fear us, but they could be like Muhammad.
Perhaps the one we just met was very powerful as well, but I bow before only one god, or I kneel before only one god.
Oh,
I am just kneeling, I am not worshiping. I'm just paying respect.
well, with that, let's take our 10-minute break. I gotta pee. Alright, stream. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes, so if you go away, please come back. And we will see you then. Let's see. 13. Yeah. Hit that button. And we'll see you shortly. Alright, we are back. So you said you wanted to go to this one?
Yes.
Alright.
That would be the last one on the map.
Oh no. There's,
No.
Scroll
there's
up.
a ton of
On our mini map.
No, scroll up.
Oh.
No.
Oh, there's much more. You're right.
Yeah. There's 4 more.
So, walking along the way, Arcadia would say, you suggest I think about making that great hunter god, the Amazon god. Would you give up your worship so easily to the divine stallion?
If I first of all, I think the situation is a bit different because the divine stallion has our best interests at heart and cares about us, and he has granted me this power. But what has Kentamane done for the Amazons?
He has given us our fighting spirit.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, then who has given the other races their fighting spirit? Is it only from the gods, or
I wouldn't know.
what I would do if I was you? Maybe not worship him, but why don't you invite him to Themis and have him check things out, show him around the island? He seems like he would appreciate it.
That's true.
Alright, so as you come up, this is a 30-story tower. The lower level is marked by murals and paintings that depict a beautiful woman engulfed by the aura of a blazing sun. A winding spiral staircase extends upward, seemingly into infinity. From somewhere high, high above, a blinding orb of golden light shines down through the water.
This must be the sun one.
A beautiful woman, eh? Well, I'm going to be a bit more careful this time. So I guess we go and enter, or I guess we first try to find out what the name is of this god.
Okay.
Okay, well, Arcadia could ask one of the passersby.
She is referred to as the sun goddess.
Oh. I'm starting to see a theme here. All right. So I guess we enter and we look for the sun goddess.
You do not see her on the lower level.
Can we go to the? Can we start? Can we ask someone on what level she is?
They say she is at the very, very top, and that bright light that you see from above is coming from her.
Oh, so can we swim to the bright light?
Sure. As you swim up. Once you get about 30 feet from that edge, you are suddenly blinded by how bright this damn light is.
Oof. I would swim out of range of the effect again.
All right, and you come back, and your sight comes back to you.
Huh. These gods are no joke. I suppose we will have to. Maybe we should try the other gods while she's busy and hope she stopped doing whatever it is she's doing.
Arcadia would try putting on her helm of darkness. Does that? She knows that it's probably not going to dispel the light, but does it protect her?
It protects her from being. Are you walking into it?
Yes, she's going to try to walk into it.
All right, it protects you from being blinded.
But can she see?
She cannot.
Okay, so yeah. I guess she's technically not blinded, but she can still not. She can only see light, I guess.
Correct. Like, she can't see like a figure or anything in that light, just a big ass light, but she's not blind.
Okay, well, she's not blind, but she would kneel and
well, you don't know where she is, right?
No, but she figures she's within 30 feet. Right? Because this is the source of the light, and they say that she's the light.
Correct.
So she would just kneel and say, greetings, sun goddess. We are visitors to your land and are paying our respects.
You get no response.
She tries it in Aquan and in Common, and no response?
No response in either language.
Well, then she would just bow and back up. So, no, she didn't seem to respond to me.
Let us wait until she finishes her meditation or what it is that she's doing, and we can speak to her then.
Okay.
So I guess we will go to this one.
All right. Oops.
And Arcadia takes off her helm because no one else can see around it.
As we're leaving, Corbin says, maybe Aziz can go. I thought he wasn't affected by light.
Ooh.
He's immune to blinded?
Well, he's a dragon. He has special sight. Plus, he's immune to fire, right?
Yes. Well, maybe. But it's Aziz we're talking about, like, well, what's he gonna do?
He's a good dragon. Is Aziz around?
Yeah, he's with you.
Aziz, can you go and see if the goddess is there?
I mean, we know she's there. I think we shouldn't disturb her, and if we could, we shouldn't let.
How do you know we're
do it.
disturbing her? Maybe she's always like this.
Maybe, I guess.
Aziz, go tell her we say hi. We seek help with Silas.
And he looks at Nico to see what Nico says.
Nico just points towards the temple. You could try. Try, good boy.
Okay. And so is anyone still up there with him, or is he just sending him back, or sending him in there?
I'll ride him if I close my eyes. I mean, if I start getting hurt by the light, I'll stop. But
Okay.
if I'm just blinded, I'll go with him.
So when you come in, you get into that bright light, you're gonna get blinded. About another, say you're within 20 feet. Now it feels like the power of the sun. Like you're going to, if you go any farther, you're probably going to end up taking some damage.
Okay, then I would leave and send him in by himself because he doesn't feel like he's going to take damage, right?
He is unsure.
Oh. I will ask him to check it out, but come back if he takes any damage.
He says, okay, and he goes in. He goes 5 feet ahead of you and says, ow! And comes back.
Jesus.
Ah.
It burns!
I will call out, I'll say, Sun Goddess, can you hear me?
No response.
Okay, we better go back, Aziz. I thought you could withstand the temperature, but I guess not.
Alright.
I'll say, as I depart, I'll say, I hope you give us your blessing when we fight Silas.
No response. And
Okay.
as Aziz flies down, and he looks very hurt and very sad.
I will pat him and say, that was a very good effort.
Thank you. I'm a good boy. Alright. Are we going to the next one?
Yes.
Alright. So, as you get to this one, the walls of this temple are crumbling and broken, and the roof has completely collapsed and fallen in. Broken chunks of stone litter the ground. A few sickly tendrils of decaying seaweed waft among the debris. And inside you see sitting on like a little like wooden throne is a 20-foot tall satyr.
No. Arcadia's friend.
Bah!
Amitrus would approach the satyr, and he would bow his torso politely, and he would say, "Greetings. We have come from the mainland, and we are visiting your temples and learning about you gods. Might we have your name?"
And what have you learned so far, young centaur?
Well, we have learned that there appears to be an entire pantheon that we on the mainland do not know anything about. I have sensed your magic, and you do appear to be gods, and seem to have knowledge of the mainland.
Appear? You're
Well,
so funny.
I recognize you as a satyr. Is that correct?
Yes. I like to take I like to take this form from time to time.
Oh, that is not your true-born form?
Of course not. But I like the satyrs.
Indeed, they are the children of Lutheria, I believe.
And so, exactly what do you want?
We have been tasked by your brothers and sisters to face the devil Scylla.
Ah, do you know? Scylla has a bad case of indigestion because she devoured way too many angels.
Angels? We'll do a history check to see if I know what an angel might be.
Okay. Yeah, you get the winged creatures that are powerful. That's kind of the sense that you get.
So in Amitri's head, that would be like a Pegasus centaur.
Sort of.
And he would say, are those not creatures from the realm of the gods?
Yes, but she likes them. She has a taste.
How do they come here?
They get brought down here from time to time.
Why?
Why does anyone do anything?
I just do not understand why you gods have come to this sunken city. Why you live here and rule over these merfolk.
Why not? We needed someplace to rule.
But okay.
And did you know that if you eat 12 raw giant octopus eyeballs in one sitting, it will grant you immortality?
I did not know that. You have not told me your name. Might I know it?
What is the name?
Hanson's gonna insight the hell out of this thing.
Okay. And what exactly is a name?
An identity. Something to let other people know who you are.
You may call me the trickster.
I see. Another trickster god. We have also met one more calling himself Doc. Are you willing to give us any assistance or any information regarding Scylla that we might use to our advantage?
Well, I already told you that she has a bad case of indigestion.
From eating angels.
Yes. And you know, sometimes gifts are terrible curses in disguise.
I do not know what a gift is.
Gift, a present.
Oh, a gift. Okay. Very well. Do you have anything else you wish to share with us? Any questions for us?
No. Just, if you go and fight Scylla and you emerge victorious, then we shall talk again.
Very well. And Demetrius will bow again and he will depart the temple.
Anyone else to talk to him?
No.
All right.
I guess onto the next one.
All right.
Wait, Pasquin will step forward. 8 eyeballs of octopus grant immortality, right?
12.
12. Right? It just like you could. Pasquin's not even trying to like act like he believes it. He just. Interesting. So, you will not grant us any kind of favor in our efforts here.
Favor is information, my young friend.
Yes, but how can we trust any of the information that comes from you?
You can trust what you trust. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter to me.
I see. So, what information do you have to offer us?
I already
Trickster?
told you.
Oh, but I don't believe that was the truth, though.
Well, what? So you don't believe anything I say? So who knows? I could tell you that if you stab a head, it disappears.
I'm sure it does. But surely you can be a little more forthright with us. It's not like we're enemies.
Who said anything about enemies? You are friends, from what I could tell.
We are friends, so don't friends help each other out?
I am giving you help. I told you that sometimes gifts are terrible curses in disguise.
He's gonna look at the things that the gods had given us, like the shark and the Arcadia's pet now. Well, I'll take that into consideration, but thank you. I might have gleaned some actual information from this, and he'll turn away and walk away.
What did you learn, Tascalin?
Mostly that he's full of shit, and we can't really trust anything he says. He has claimed himself to be a trickster god from the start, but he's going to inspect the shark and the crustacean. I don't know if he's trying to just make us paranoid, or if we should take his word at face value.
Gods are strange creatures indeed, but there's always hints of truth in between the lines.
Perhaps.
They know more than they let on, but what did he tell you that you were curious about?
Mostly the gifts can be great curses, but I don't think we should just disregard anything that he's told us for the time being. I don't think we can trust anything.
I found something odd as well. They say that this Scylla is eating angels, but I know angels only as servants of the gods. Are they sending their own servants in there to be eaten?
I don't think we should trust that either. I think there's nothing. I don't think we should plot anything based on what he has told us.
Well, perhaps, but perhaps he told us some important information. Maybe the other gods are working together with the Scylla, and these gifts will betray us when we try to enter battle.
Perhaps, but as I said, we should not take anything that he said to heart. But we have another temple to visit, do we not?
Yes.
Alright, coming in here. The view of this room is mostly obscured by thick seaweed that has overrun the temple. Trapped in the twisted strands are broken bits of furnishing and other stuff. Floating above the tangled mess is a stunningly handsome young woman.
Handsome young woman?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here you go again, Demetrius.
No. I'm Demetrius hesitantly approaches. He's suspicious of these gods now. And he says,
no.
Greetings, fair lady. Might we intrude upon your time?
You? Yes, you will not intrude on my time. But him? Oh, he's handsome. As she points at Tascalin. He may talk to me.
Very well.
Tasklin just looks up very unnerved by this. He doesn't know what to make of this handsome woman. And he'll step closer. Very well. We are looking to acquire the Prometheus Flame. Is there anything that you may be able to help us in our quest?
Perhaps, but what can you offer me? As she looks you up and down seductively.
What do you want in particular that we can offer you? We are just mortals after all. I'm sure there's nothing we have of any value for you.
Well, I do wish to have a child.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure one of the other gods would be willing to accommodate you in that regard. Want me to go speak on your behalf?
I don't know what they do up above anymore, but down here we do not practice sleeping with your relatives.
You have to forgive me. I did not see the family resemblance.
Jaskelin, I understand that you haven't been a hero. This is a familiar situation to us. Remember what I told you about there being glamorous sides to adventuring as well?
This is hardly glamorous.
It is time for you to do your duty. How bad do you want to save your mother from Gravik?
I'm not even sure this is a woman.
Doesn't matter.
Do
your duty.
If you look at that picture I posted to Discord, that's kind of how she's looking at him.
The rest of us will wait outside.
Oh, yowza.
And Amicus would depart the temple and ask the others to join him, except Jaskelin.
This is not what we discussed, Demetrius. This is not glamorous.
This is what it means to be a hero. Sacrifice yourself.
Arcadia will walk next to, as she's walking the opposite direction. As she walks past him, she says, "Don't be pressured by the others, but I don't know. She's if you were okay with Farina," and she just walks away.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, Tusk. I know of a lizard man who had to do worse.
This is what when I joined you. I did not expect you to be whoring me out.
As they leave,
Arcadia says it's up to you. It really is up to you.
And as they leave, she kind of floats around you, Taskelin, like eyeing you up and down.
If I agree to this, what will you provide in assistance for in our quest?
I will boost your charisma.
I see.
And I will confer upon you the title of head consort.
Oh, yes. That's always what I've wanted.
I will run a bet with Corbin and Nicodemus how long Taskelin lasts. I'm saying 15 minutes.
I'll take the under.
You take under? Okay. You, Nico? What do you say?
Yeah, under.
Alright, if it lasts longer than 15, then each of you pay me 50 gold. And if it lasts shorter than 50 minutes, I'll pay each of you 50 gold.
Oh my god.
Deal.
Well, it's up to Tasklin. You don't have to do it. No pressure at all if you decide not to.
Arcadia is in the back, rolling her eyes as usual.
This is not what I had. This is not quite what I expected when I agreed to this journey. But we need every little bit of help. Very well. But if it doesn't work the first time, other attempts will cost more.
Smart guy.
Perfect.
He's a fucking prostitute.
Yeah, he is. Okay. Give me a performance.
In the open?
Oh yeah.
Whoever takes performance, when does that ever come into play?
Bard. Oh,
Yes,
you almost rolled a 1. All right.
Jeez.
So 41 minutes later,
Oh wow.
Wow.
Let's
And-
see it, boys.
and the party, you hear a lot of loud carnal noises. Is all I'm going to say. So your charisma is now boosted by 4.
Okay. Temporarily,
I don't know.
but
Wow.
Tasker will walk in just stone faced, just looking in the distance like 1,000-yard stare.
Despeline, you're glowing.
And
You look like you had a great time.
and she walks out. She walks out like her blouse is like pulled to the side. Her hair's all fucked up.
I don't want to talk
Corbin
about it.
discreetly hands Demetrius his 50 gold.
Yeah, so does Nico.
I never would have thought it.
I knew he could do it. On to the
Let's
next
just go
one.
to the other temple. Let's just go to the other temple.
Gee, that was funny as hell. Yeah.
Do you feel dirty, Tascalon? Do you?
Tasker just doesn't. He just continuously staring off into the distance. He doesn't reply.
He's gonna remember this for the rest of his life. Alright, so you come to the next one. Ooh, the interior of this temple is decrepit and abandoned. The walls are cracked and the stone altars are broken. In the middle of the floor is a toppled statue of a large centaur. The entire place has been overrun by thick seaweed. Tall strands weave gently back and forth on the ocean currents.
I will inspect what remains of the statue and see if I recognize anything. I'll do that.
Do you touch the statue, or are you just looking at it?
I'll touch it.
Alright, so when you touch it, this temple kind of lights up a little bit, and it appearing up kind of like in the sky a little bit is a creature that looks like this.
Whoa.
Amitrius goes wide-eyed as he sees this creature. And he will bow a bit lower, and then to the other gods, and he say, "Greetings.
Greetings, centaur child. What brings you here?
We are on a quest to obtain the Promethean fire, and we have been set upon by the gods to slay Scylla in exchange for it.
Uh-huh.
Might I know your name?
You may call me the Sky Father.
I will use my divine sense.
And bright light shines from him.
I'll say, Skyfather, why do you have the guise of a centaur?
I like the centaur. I like their customs. I like their... You know, I like everything that is to be a centaur, so I've chosen this form.
Are you perhaps related to the divine stallion?
Ah, he is but a cousin of mine.
Cousin, he is the god that me and my people serve. I am the leader of the centaur.
Ah, you have chosen a great god to follow.
It would be an honor if you would choose to visit the steppes one day and ride alongside our people.
It would be my pleasure.
Then consider yourself invited.
Do you speak for the centaur people?
Yes, I do.
And what is your name?
Amitrius.
Demetrius. I will write that down. Harold, write that down.
He has a herald as well. I will say, might we ask you for a boon in our quest to face the dreaded sea monster Scylla?
And he thinks for a second, and he says, I will bequeath upon you this ability. It is called the Invincibility of the Skyfather. And what it does, once per day, the hero can choose to reduce to 0 the damage from any one source.
Wow.
I thank you, Skyfather, for this blessing. It is powerful indeed.
It will last for 1 week.
Oh, okay. And I will bow low again, and I will begin walking out of the temple.
All right.
Last for 1 week.
Yeah, sorry. Copy and paste.
And we all get it?
Arca-
No, just Demetrius, of course.
Arcadia, who will have been bowing, will say thank you. And do I remember correctly that the god who refers to himself as Doc is your brother?
Yes.
He was rather opaque in his communications with us. Would you mind telling me about him?
I would.
Okay, and she just nods and says, well, thank you for your boon, and she'll walk out.
And it darkens again and he disappears.
All right, time for the next temple. That dude looks super cool, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I tried to find pictures for all of them, but of course not. I couldn't. So when you come in here, shockingly, the inside of this temple is filled with a large bubble of hot, oppressive air that repels seawater. Hundreds of beautifully crafted weapons and suits of armor are scattered about. In the center of the room is a heavily muscled Cyclops working at a massive forge that belches heat and smoke.
Corbin will go up to him and speak in giant and say, hello.
Hello there. I like you.
Thank you. What are you working on?
I'm just making a new weapon here.
I make sure that Titansbane is not too jealous.
And he is. You can tell that he is heavily muscled, and you can tell that he definitely knows what he's doing around a forge.
My companions are newly arrived, and we've been assigned to fight Scylla. Is there anything you could do to help us?
He kind of scratches his head. Well, I want to ask you one question before. What happened? What happened to the pissant named Vulcan?
Alas, he was slain in our battle with Sidon.
Ha! Pussy. He was shit at the forge.
Really? You're that much better?
Of course.
Then you must be great indeed.
I am.
Is there something you could make for us?
I'll tell you what. I'll do something better. For you, pick any weapon or any pseudo armor in here. Within 8 hours, it will transform into a +3 version that you have to attune.
Oh no. All right. I will. I will look around and see what is in there.
Yes.
Everything is there?
Metal, anything metallic, like something that needs to be crested at a forge.
I will see if there's an adamantium full plate mail like I have on.
I don't think that can get to +3.
Guess he's not as good at the forge as he thinks.
I mean, if D&D, it's just, I don't think that exists.
I know, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't think that exists.
Shoot, I don't. Well, you know what? I will look for a shield.
Okay. Oops.
And I will pick out the nicest, shiniest shield I can find.
All right. There's an adamantine shield.
But then you
That
wouldn't be
will
able
turn
to
into
use...
a +3.
It will, but you will have to attune to it.
Would you not be able to use Titan's Bane as a two-handed sword then? Or are you super strong?
That's true. I wouldn't be able to use Titan's Bane then.
Correct.
But I know Ametreus can use shields.
How about
He might.
how about a suit of armor of resistance, like fire resistance or something like that?
I could use
Lightning
a shield.
resistance.
+3 is what he said it would do. So I'll take the shield.
+3 shield's badass.
All right. I'll throw that into your inventory. Right now is just a normal shield, a normal adamantine shield.
So,
Nico's still got a +1 shield. He's got to upgrade.
Thank you, mighty forger,
You may call me the Fire King.
the Fire King.
Oh yeah, we need to ask where Skilla is actually. Skilla.
Yeah.
Scylla.
Where?
If you go down the chasm, all the way to the bottom of the chasm, that is where it dwells. And best of luck.
Hey, while we're here, do you know anything of the sun goddess? We tried to see her, but she was like way too hot.
Don't talk about my sister like that. She always has that radiant energy. I'm assuming is what you were talking about.
This must be.
She is always crafting that when she is deep in meditation and thought.
Does she ever not? Is she ever not in meditation?
Well, last time she went into that deep of meditation, it was 50 years before she came out.
Oh, that's a long time.
Well, the best way if you really want to talk to her, just touch her.
I guess we'd have to suffer some pain, but it might be doable. Thank you.
I think I could probably use the cleansing. I can try and get to her.
Wait, you have magic that can resist radiant?
No, but I think I need to burn the filth off me.
You're just gonna tank it.
And he looks at you and says, you slept with my other sister, didn't you? She got another one under her belt. It slaps Corbin on the shoulder really hard.
And Amisha will say, yeah, he's got a type.
Nico, can you know any purifying spells? I think I might need it.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on.
Unless you
Nico
could,
should do it. Nico can do
Yes,
it easily with wild
could-
shape.
well, I could go do it and cast absorb elements at a higher level.
I don't think that would work.
Ametreus can do it now because he can ignore one type of damage.
Actually, no, at a higher level it wouldn't work. But
Actually,
that's
yeah,
all the
I can do
damage.
it, but I would be using that life-saving ability.
Yeah, you'd have to wait for the next day.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, how much HP does a bear have? Like 140, and that thing deals like 40 damage per round, and it's like 30 feet. So that's at best 2 sources of damage. So if you just wild shape, you take no damage from that.
I suppose.
Otherwise, if it's just 30 feet, I can run in. But I'm not sure where she would be to touch her because I can't see in there.
You can see within 10 feet.
That's true. Hold on, that's true. Yeah, okay, I'll do it then. Let's go to the Sun Temple.
Okay.
All right. Same thing. You get down there, it's still radiating that big ass energy.
Okay, so this energy is like 30 feet aura, right?
Yes.
So I have 70 feet movement. So if I run in there, touch her, and run out, I should only take the damage once, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll do that because I have 10 feet blind sight. So I'll just run. I'll just look at the radius, like where it starts, and go around a little bit and determine where the center is, and then I'll just sprint in.
Okay. Well, you do that. Cool. So, first time you move in, once you get to, so you get to that 30-foot radius, you walk into the 25-foot radius, and you take that.
I will do the Skyfather thing.
Okay. Should have negated it. Yeah, back to you. Alright, so you keep moving. Alright, five more feet. Do you keep going?
Oh, it's like every 5 feet I move, I feel this damage.
Well, you move 10 feet and you've taken it twice.
Okay, no, I run out.
Okay. When you run back out, bam. Now you are out.
I'll say we should have gone with my plan. This doesn't work. We need someone with a lot of HP in there, like a wild shape.
And y'all see him; he's like bloodied and all that crap, just removing 15 feet.
Jeez. And how far away is she?
30 feet.
Oh, holy.
I would try it if you turned me into something with lots of hit points, like a whale.
Well, I know a giant ape can probably get that. It has almost 200 hit points. Want to do that?
Is that more than a whale?
I don't know. I've never transformed into a whale.
Whale could maybe swim faster than an ape in here.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right.
But I don't know how much hit points they have. What kind of whales can you make?
Listen, the great ape will be more than enough.
I think the whales have lots of hit points. But maybe. Okay, I will try the ape. Or wait, before we do that, you can transform into elementals. No, but elementals won't have radiant. It'll just be fire. Never mind. Alright, so you're gonna do giant ape?
If that's the one you want, that'll work.
You give it a shot.
Okay, here we go.
As Amy's touching himself everywhere.
Giant ape. Corbin 8.
All right.
157. Well,
Right. I don't have the thing, but I don't know if I'll need it or not.
All right, so,
thing.
so you start moving in.
Yep.
All right.
Mark off my spell slot. 4.
All right, so here we go. 5, 10, 15,
No fucking chance.
20, and he pops back up.
Jesus.
You're,
So 5
Alright.
more feet?
you're 10 feet away.
I'll keep going.
All right.
Yeah, if you go back, you take more.
And now you are in front of her.
I will touch her. Say, wake up! Stop burning me!
And as you touch her, the nimbus of the light dims, and her eyes open, and she looks at you, and this is what she looks like.
Pretty.
And she says, "Ah, my Messiah has arrived."
No, my name is Corbin.
Corbin the Messiah. Welcome.
This is good. Demetrius will be jealous. I can add this to my herald.
And she says, "Welcome, Messiah. What brings you to see me?"
I risk traveling through your magnificent aura to seek help with fighting the Scylla.
Ah, well, I can give you. I will give you this. And she takes off her crown and hands it to you.
This is magnificent. What does it do?
Put it on.
All right, I will put it on.
And I put it in your inventory. And I
Corbin, the
will,
magical item hoarder.
and I will link it there. Basically, it is a 60-foot radius sphere of light spreads out from a point you choose within range. If you choose a point, so you can cast. So it sits above you as a glowing halo that floats above your head. At any time, you can cast the daylight spell as a bonus action with the crown as the target. And once per short rest, you can use the sunbeam spell as a bonus action, and then yeah, that's it.
Okay, so daylight
Sunbeam's a
I
great
can
spell.
cast as a bonus action, and once per short rest I can cast sunbeam.
Correct.
Got
And
it.
does that say that it just remains? It's just going to stay there, and then in 7 days it's going to explode.
Allegedly. But of course you wouldn't.
Like,
know.
can you take it off? Can you tell us
Of course, you wouldn't know that. So don't play like you know that, because I should have not put that
okay.
in there.
Oh,
Okay.
So don't.
so I don't know it's going to explode?
Correct.
Okay.
So don't play like you do.
All right.
Like on day 6, Corbin's just gonna randomly take it off.
Yeah, exactly. And so don't.
I know him.
Because I will call you out for that, because you won't know. Like you literally won't know.
I was
He's
going to
like,
give it
I think I'm
I have a headache today. It's just my character would do.
I think I'm gonna comb my hair right now. So
Like he's standing there with a stopwatch in his hand, and you see like the final minute, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I need to comb my hair."
Hands it over. Hands it over to Taskell. And here, hold this.
And so
All
she
right.
says. And so she says, "Good luck in your endeavor, my Messiah."
Thank you very much. You seem very nice.
Thank you. I do try.
Is there anything you can do to help my wounds? I'm quite singed from coming to see you.
Oh no, that was the cost of you coming to see me and disturbing me from my meditation.
Oh, well, let me go quickly again. Then you can start meditating again after I am out of your radius.
Very well.
Okay, I will hastily retreat.
Fair enough. And as you get out of the range, it appears again.
And go back to the others.
See that you
I got this
your
neat crown thing.
I thought you had died for a moment there.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. It was a lot of damage. It killed the ape.
Yeah, I got scorched up pretty bad.
So these are all the temples in this area, correct?
That is correct.
So if we look, we have the other items of interest. What's the one? So we said we saw a marketplace, and then we saw above that.
Check on some stuff for the fight. And maybe we can have something to eat whilst we're here. I'm hungry. He says. I want to try some underwater food.
Well, we know where the market is, and we saw these big coral towers. There's something, and there's stuff to the south. Did we want to just figure we can get something to eat at the market?
Yeah. And maybe we can get like some healing potions or some potions of resistance. Like
Okay.
down here, maybe the invulnerable potion isn't plundered yet.
It's true.
Maybe.
Let's go to the market.
Maybe you can get some Scylla slaying arrows, dragon slaying arrows, or whatever.
Scylla slaying arrows.
All right. So when you get here, many of the homes that were destroyed when the city sank beneath the ocean have since been repaired and rebuilt by the current undersea denizens, creating new neighborhoods and merchants. Blah blah blah. Merfolk merchants hawk their wares in corner markets, while ordinary citizens swim up and down the streets, consumed with the mundane bustle of ordinary life.
And do we see any creatures other than merfolk?
You do not.
So I guess I would look for a food stand.
You see a merchant standing outside with a little table and had like a little tray and has like little toothpicks in it.
What kind of food do these people eat? I go up to the stall.
And you see, we call this. I can't pronounce. I'm gonna type it out. IHS.
And can you also share that text?
ISIS. And she says this is filled with seaweed and fish, and there was no text.
I'll pick one up and eat it.
And it tastes very good. And she says, now, if you would like another piece, here, taste this. We call this, the hell is that? It's like a little, we call this ginger.
I'll try it.
And it's a little, she says, this is used to cleanse your palates for more ISIS.
Sorry, you're semi-cutting out.
She says, this is to cleanse your palate for more ISIS.
Yeah, I will begin like feasting on this stall, and I will tell the others that it's quite good. And I will give her a sack of gold. I'll give her 50 gold.
And she looks at it.
Whoa.
And, what is this? Can you eat it?
This
And
is-
she bites down on it.
This is gold. What do you mean? It is how I pay for the food.
She says, okay, thank you.
Well, hold on. I'm no thief. Do you not use gold to trade?
Usually we trade in trinkets, but I guess I can do something. This is this is otherworldly, so maybe we could use this for something. Okay.
Are you satisfied with the deal? Because if not, I can see if I have something else for you.
Well, this is a new trinket that's I've never seen before, so that's it's okay.
I'll explain it what it is. We call it gold. It's made from a very rare metal that you can make expensive jewelry from, and on land, we use gold to trade for everything. Houses, anything.
Oh, we just trade in trinkets.
Well,
If you take it to the forge god, I'm sure he'll be able to make it into something shiny that you can wear.
And her eyes get big, and she kind of like bows her head. You say his name? You say his name openly?
Yes?
You must be a mighty powerful hero indeed.
why? Is that forbidden?
Not forbidden, but we usually don't speak their names out loud.
Oh, I see.
But, it might be a foolish question, but do you have anything that has been cooked?
Cooked? What's that?
Bro, we are underwater.
Yeah,
can
that's
they
why
eat
you said it might be a stupid question. You have, like, roasted? Like,
Like SpongeBob logic. Just start a fire and cook underwater.
yeah.
And she looks at you like quizzically and looks at Demetrius like, what the hell is he talking about?
I have no idea.
You have, like, a thermal vent that you can cook food on?
Why would you do that and destroy the taste? That doesn't make sense.
Here, 1 second.
Gravik, sorry, Castellan, you are wasting your time.
Nico living on the docks is like, I'm used to this. This is delicious.
Tasman will try and, like, cast a low, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Restrained firebolt to cook the food.
And she starts crying. Why would you ruin it?
No, it's fine. And he'll put it in his mouth and start chewing. Like, I could have cooked a little bit more. You want to try some?
He's ruining it.
No, look here. He'll flash fry a bunch of other.
No!
Grav, Castellan, what are you doing?
Now he really made his. Now he really made his food sauce.
What is he doing? Stop! Stop!
Don't try it! And he'll, like, hold a piece of, like, still kind of sizzling meat. It's still, like, even in the water. See, it's still good!
It's destroyed!
No, it's good! He'll eat it and, like, make a show of, like,
Ah!
how good it is.
Please go away before you ruin more food.
It's fine. He'll take his cooked food and, like, swim a little ways away and eat in silence.
And she like kind of sits back against the stove. He's ruined it all.
It's better this way.
Well, just imagine that it was going to end up in his stomach either way. At least he's enjoying it. That's what matters, right?
What is with these otherworldly creatures?
Yes. Well, thank you for the delicious meal, and good day.
You as well. What is with
And,
these?
I guess we would look for some kind of potion / magic item shop.
So, as you're looking around, almost all of these merchants just have like little trinkets that probably won't be worth anything. The only thing that you can kind of see that's different that you've never seen is like a little stall that has a bunch of like globes. They're like little red glowing orbs that have been there's like 20 of them just hanging from the stall, and they're all glowing. Yeah.
I will walk up to the stall and inspect the globes.
And someone just flies up and says, my Gaijin friend, welcome. How can I help you?
Greetings. What are these globes?
We call them ever-burning globes.
I have something like this, and I will pull out a small sphere of thick glass, which weighs about 1 pound, and it has some deep inner glow, a drift glow.
Yeah.
And I'll show it to the vendor.
And they're like, ooh, that's nice. Would you like to trade it?
Very well. What is your best globe? This one is quite rare. It's from the mainland.
And he just points. They're all the same, my Gaijin friend.
What is their purpose?
Well, they have been permanently permanently enchanted with the light spell.
Oh, this one as well, but this one you can turn on and off.
These do not turn on and off. We just cover them if needed be.
Then it seems like it would be a poor deal for me.
So be it.
I will put my globe away again, and I'll say thank you for your time, and walk away from his stall.
Okay. Yeah. Other than that, you don't find anything like of value unless you want to buy like little trinkets and like BS stuff. But yeah, you won't find anything like of value.
I'll buy a few souvenirs for the mainland. If I can trade for them with gold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
You see as you come up, there's one stall that has like it says otherworldly trinkets, and you get up and you see a fork, and they say, we use this as a comb. This is very pretty, and they start combing their hair with the fork.
That is a fork. You eat with it.
This is a dingle hopper.
Does he have anything? Does he have anything that's like a souvenir for Amitris's daughter?
Say what now?
A souvenir for Amitris's daughter?
Yeah, you can buy just some random.
Yeah, I'll buy a souvenir.
Okay.
Who's the person who's actually Amitrius's father? Or not Amitrius' father, but the daughter. Who is the actual father? Like the person that actually looks after the kid?
Sus.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how Amitrius has been gone, and you know your wife moved on.
Oh, Uncle Constantine?
Oh, Constantine. That's it.
Him, yeah.
Yeah, it's like don't you mean Uncle Constantine?
What the hell are you talking about, Tasklin?
No, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Don't get yourself involved in my family affairs. I don't know who this Constantine is, but he has nothing to do with me or my relationship with my daughter. And yeah, I guess we can check out the coral. Did we want to check out the coral thing?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
All right, coming up there.
As they leave, they hear the vendor singing, "Look at this stuff.
Yep.
Isn't it neat?"
Go to the dingle hopper.
So, you come up here, tall, delicate towers of coral rise up from the ocean floor, shaped and sculpted into evocative designs. The colorful growths resemble a beautiful, meditative garden.
Evocative was the correct pronunciation, by the way.
I guess we enter the garden.
Okay.
Do we see any noteworthy individuals here?
No, it's just a nice little Zen garden, if you will.
Is there any fruit or something here?
Sure. Yeah,
I'll see if I can pluck a fruit and try it.
All right, roll me a con save.
Should have fucking known.
Arcadia walks around appreciating the beauty. It reminds her of the hanging gardens in Arisia in some interesting way, which has a special meaning for her.
And you hear Amitrius vomit as he takes a bite out of that.
That's disgusting.
Are you sure? Like Pascal will pick one of the fruits and inspect it. Does it look disgusting or?
I might find a picture of it. Let me see.
You might like it, Tasklin.
Looks like that in Discord.
I knew it! I knew it!
Of course.
Exactly that! I was like, yes, I knew it!
He's gonna sniff it and then like cautiously take a small bite out of it.
Roll me a con save.
I don't know how somebody could eat that.
Actually, Tasklin actually does not vomit. Sorry, it tastes very good to him.
I don't know what you're talking. This is actually pretty damn good. better than that uncooked meat we had. And he'll take another bite out of it.
Tastes
Wait, did
very, very good.
Demetrius pay for the entire party, or did he just pay for himself?
He's not even paying. He's just eating it.
No, I meant at the ISIS place.
I mean, he gave a bag of 50 gold. Usually that's enough for, like, I don't know, a feast.
Sure.
So, according to Amitrius, it was a fair pay.
Yeah, it tastes good, Task.
He'll eat it until he's full and then kind of like look around and then just kind of like toss it over his shoulder where it just probably floats away.
All right.
And Amitrius gives Taskling like a look like he's some kind of alien. All right. Actually, I was curious about this place.
All right.
Yeah, I think we should just investigate. And there's another place to the far southwest, and that looks like everything
that
for
one.
us to investigate before we go into the chasm.
Well, you can always go there right away. I mean, it's not like
Sus.
it's not like I did anything or pointed anything, you know.
We still have 10 minutes left. Let's make the start of the next session clean.
All right, so towering stalks of kelp rise from the dark fissures that divide the city. The thick vines and wide, flat leaves wave gently back and forth with the shifting currents, almost as if beckoning you to enter. But on closer inspection, you can see the densely packed aquatic vegetation has tangled together, forming a nearly impenetrable curtain that obscures whatever dangers may be lurking within.
On one side, this forest is giving me a bad feeling. On the other side, we are the heroes. Like, it kind of sounds like something we should go in, right?
Are they magical?
No?
You see Arcadia just kind of slip right in there. You kind of take a quick look.
She slips in, and you lose sight of her.
Arcadia, we were still discussing if we that woman. And I'm
I'm not
walking
going in
after
there.
her. I'll get her back.
And he goes in and disappears.
And Astrea will say, Dad, and she will go in as well.
And
No.
And Estrella disappears.
With Taskling
Corbin-
on her back.
No, Tasman will like hop off and he starts to go into that thick help. Just like he'll just kind of float in front of it, waiting for them to come out.
Corbin would follow him too.
Curious, does it hinder her at all, or?
It does not.
Oh, so it just looked. I mean, she just went in there to see if it would give her any trouble. She didn't really go off by herself.
Yeah, it does not give you any trouble.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's just a regular ass forest?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Not everything is suspicious.
Yeah, no comment.
So, do we see anything in there?
You do not.
Well, I'm going in, weapons drawn, and I'm like constantly looking around, seeing if I'm about to be jumped at any moment when I guess, stumble into Arcadia, who's so good at stealth that I didn't even see her. It's like, oh, here you are. Did you find anything?
Yeah, she said no.
All right. Well, it's a nice forest. Now we can say that we visited the ancient forest in the sunken city.
True. Let's go see what that other thing is to the south.
All right. Guess we go there.
All right. This opulent shrine is surrounded by golden statues of winged sirens. In contrast to the surrounding ruins, it appears to be in pristine condition. Standing in the entrance of the shrine, you think you can hear the faint sounds of beautiful singing coming from inside.
Uh-oh.
Not everything is...
All right.
Thank you, Matt
Shall
Gels.
we,
I appreciate
wax
it.
in our ears? I'm just going in because I want to talk to him, but some of us should at least wax their ears so that they don't get controlled.
Corbin will put wax in his ears, and I'll
Yeah,
follow
Nico.
Amitrius.
Nico will too. He'll follow.
My spirit is strong enough to resist the music.
All right.
Arcadia puts one in just so she's ready.
Haskell will just follow behind Demetrius.
So
And she
coming-
knows this now. She'll stand close to Demetrius to be in his aura.
So coming in, the inside of the shrine is lavishly decorated with marble statues, gemstone mosaics, and silver ornamentation. Merfolk skeletons are scattered across the floor.
Oh, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No good.
Can we follow the sound of the singing?
So looking in, and as you come in, it appears to be coming from the rear of the shrine.
Demetrius would loudly say, "Greetings, we come in peace."
No response.
I guess I would go towards the rear.
Arcadia would say the same thing in Orc 1.
No response.
I thought
Coming.
they said there was no sirens here.
Exactly. So something is up.
So coming coming to the back, you see written in mosaics on the rear wall of the shrine is a name, what appears to be a name.
I will look at Arcadia and I will raise my hand like low and like try to urge her not to draw her weapon because Demetrius thinks she would.
Why does he think she's going to draw her weapon?
Because they had like Maynard's on Timus, right? And
Oh, is it a Maynard?
yeah.
What?
What?
Is it a
Maynard
picture
what?
of a Maynard?
No, it's written.
I thought you said
Written in mosaics on the rear wall of the shrine is a name. What appears to be a name.
Yeah, Arcadia's going to try to read the
heard the word
name.
Maynard. Oh, sorry, my bad.
All right.
The audio.
As you try to read the name, give me a wisdom save.
Oh, no. Alright, she's next to Demetrius, just saying. Where am I?
It's just from Arcadia. Okay. Give me just 2 seconds. So, as you're trying to read it, you get the overwhelming sense that a pair of hands are choking the life out of you, and you start to suffocate.
Oh, well, she would grasp her neck and start struggling against what looks like an invisible hand. And,
I will put my hand on her shoulder and I will cast Cleansing Touch on her.
Link that to us.
Sorry. Yeah. I can't link it. It's
Where's it?
you use
Abilities.
your action to end one spell on yourself or one willing creature that you touch.
It does not go off,
Okay.
or it does not work.
Asculin will look to Acadia and then look to the name on the wall. Instinctually try to read it as well.
Give me a wisdom save. You also begin to choke.
I will begin. I guess. Arcadia. I'll try to give her the Heimlich.
Arcadia, you can give me another wisdom save.
Like I'm like panicking and fussing over Arcadia. I'm trying to get her to not.
Well, I'm going to
die.
use my inspiration on this one.
I'm like smacking my fist into her back, and I'm like trying to like put my arms around her chest and like pull inwards.
As she comes out of it, but you still see Tascalon choking.
I will rush over towards him, and I will begin like I will.
Asculin tries to like
bend over
put a hand out to like stop Demetrius from doing that. The same to him. He'll try to like choke out the words like that. It's something to do with the wall, and he's not actually choking, but it's probably just like.
Give me another wisdom save as you start to feel yourself unable to breathe.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna use my inspiration as well.
as Tasklin comes out of it. So Task and Arcadia, you both had a vision of the city collapsing and being swallowed up by the ocean, and you thought that you were there and that you were drowning.
Sick.
She would share that with the party.
And as you come out of it, you realize that the name of the city here, or that the name on the wall, literally cannot be read. Like, it's been erased from history.
That is some pretty powerful magic.
Just a little bit.
The singing, where is it coming from? Is it this wall?
It is filling this temple, but it does appear to be strongly behind the wall.
Fuck it. Let's see. We still got that adamantine hammer that we took, or the whatever hammer that was.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I think
Corbin's
one of
got
you
it, I
took it,
think.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, Arcadia has it, or I don't know if she, or maybe Corbin picked it up because she used it. She used it to open up the pillar.
I will hold out my hand and say, "Can you give me the hammer?"
Okay.
I will tie a cloth around my eyes and rely on my blind sense, and I begin hammering at the wall.
All right. It only
Oh,
took
the beautiful
mosaic.
Well,
Yeah.
do we see any doors in it?
You do not. It's a wall.
Like where the name is written, the cursed name. That's what I'm trying to hit. Oh,
All right.
Well-
So 2 swings, and the wall crumbles, and you see a little room behind it,
I will take
And-
off my blindfold and enter the room.
and the singing stops. And inside, you see. Let's see here. There you see 12 ancient-looking chests, like treasure chests.
I will ask Tasklin to cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, he'll do that. He'll cast Detect Magic.
You do not see anything magical coming from those chests.
I will ask Arcadia to check the chest for traps,
Okay. She would
pressure
go
plates,
to-
or like arrows that shoot out.
Yeah.
Deaf Corbin makes a stabby motion, like you should stab them.
Stab them. None of the chests appear to be trapped.
All right. Guess we Amitrus tries opening one.
All right. Opening one, it is full of silver and gold.
All right, let's loot them all.
All right. Taking the time to open all the chests, you find about 24,000 silver and 12,000 gold, and 6-star rubies and 6-star sapphires, each worth about 1,000 gold each.
Jeez, we're rich.
Whoa.
And this is nothing to Tasklin.
Now this is a sunken treasure room.
Good idea, wasn't it, guys?
You're not wrong, Dan.
I told you there were good sides to being a hero, Tasklin. Maybe with this you can start your own house and you don't have to live with your father anymore.
That house belongs to me, and I will claim it one day.
I get the feeling your dad's gonna get really old. He's as healthy as a bull.
He'll kill himself in one act of stupidity or another.
Corbin's
I
going to
think,
put the gold from this in his bag of holding.
1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess each of us takes one of the gems. And I guess we can put the other one in the ultras. Let's see. Yeah, we just totally discovered. I saw like this the crack in this wall. It looked like a different graphic from the rest of the game, so I knew that I had to destroy it.
Secrets of Atlantis unlocked. 1 out of 24.
All right, very worth coming here. But that does get me thinking about what actually happened here, because it feels like some mix of genocide and god magic to erase the past of this city by force. Sus.
Yeah, being completely unable to read that name is something pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's like I'm not even sure even Bahamut could do that. Maybe that's like huge.
Pretty powerful.
She's interested in. She sees these old merfolk skeletons. It's curious that no one seems to remember the sirens or talk about them, yet this is not that far out of the city.
Indeed.
I don't know.
Maybe it's forbidden for them to come here or something. But then who maintains the temple?
Yeah, it's beautiful, right?
Sus indeed. We'll also add a sus painting to that. There we go. So you want to go to the chasm?
Yes.
The
I guess
sus
so.
chasm? All right.
We're all.
I want to take a short rest first.
Yeah,
before we go to the
Corbin
Sus
is
Cavern.
wounded.
Short rest it is.
And
Roll
Dimitri
you got him.
as well. Arcadia didn't have any trinkets, so she's gonna eat some turkey. Kind of soggy now. Yeah, you guys, if you haven't taken a star ruby and a star sapphire, you should. And leave one that leaves one for like kind of general to be sold later.
As he stares at them.
Astrea stares at them. And I guess Vengeance as well.
All right. Heading down. Down, down, down.
And Arcadia's gonna. Yeah, Arcadia's gonna do some healing or extra stuff in that short rest, but I can do that post. Well, don't worry about it.
Sus.
Very sus. Yeah, I'll just stick with this next week. All right, so as you're swimming down, it is. I believe they said at the bottom, right, of this chasm that you needed to go to. If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Okay. Let's do this. All right, so I'll kind of fast forward a little bit. So the it's about a 2-mile swim down. After about a half mile, it's completely dark. So if you don't have dark vision or blindsight or
I'll cast daylight.
or daylight, there we go. Interesting that you just got an item that uses that. So you get it.
Convenient.
Right. So it's a long descent into the chasm. It's about 2 miles down, and you finally reach the bottom. The sandy, black bottom of the ocean is littered with the rotting corpses of gargantuan whales, leviathans of the deep, brought down by some monstrous apex predator. A smattering of half-eaten humanoid corpses also dot the ocean floor, evidence that whatever horde dwells here will eat on anything.
Hold on, this is very suspicious. Do you think these guys are sending us to our deaths? Well, I guess we don't have a choice. Here we go.
All right, and so as you're down here, the cold, dark waters around you shudder. The silence of the depths is broken by a deep, resonant moan, the cry of an entity both ancient and horrifying. From the gloom, a gargantuan abomination emerges, 6 serpent-like heads twist and writhe on long necks protruding from a grotesque bloated torso. The undersea nightmare lurches towards you with terrifying speed, writhing across the ocean floor on 12 monstrous black tentacles, gnashing its hungry jaws.
Can I divine sense it?
Do you want to use your action to divine sense it? Because we will be going right into initiative.
While he's thinking, Arcadia would have, and I was just going to say this, Arcadia would have, during that short rest, she takes her Medusa helm out of her bag of holding, and the question, is the head in there? She's not going to look at the eyes.
It is not.
Oh, it's not in there. Okay, so she can't use that. Okay.
I would have talked to Arcadia in the break and asked her about the freedom of movement, because I still can't move very well.
Wait, can Pasquin, upon seeing this, immediately cast Draconic Transformation?
If you want to use your action to do that.
Okay, he's going to cast that at level 7 spell slot.
You would have to do it on your turn.
You have to do it on your turn, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Because
the question is-
this is happening literally as soon as it appears it's going to attack you.
Okay, let me just turn that off then. Where is it?
Well, also, he would ask if Corbin during the short rest had asked Arcadia about freedom of movement. She would also ask, "Is that something Nico feels he should do, or that he could do because he has more spell slots, or should she do it?" She is fine with doing it.
For what?
Freedom of movement on Corbin.
Oh, I
And
could
the
do that.
But-
I could do that.
Oh.
I have a lot of spell slots.
I guess Task would still be riding Astrea.
I was saying, keep in mind this is a 2-mile swim, so I don't know if you want to use it like right away or not. Freedom movement.
Oh, right. You might have wanted to.
We would use it closer to the bottom, probably.
You don't know where the bottom is, though. Or maybe when you got to the bottom, possibly
Yeah.
use it. Oh yeah, Teskin was still on her on that. Nico. All right, cool. Okay, well, we'll pick it up there next time.
Sounds good. Can we do the thing?
He's gonna ask it every single.
You're so funny.
Nice try.
You're so funny. Maybe if you survive this, maybe, who knows?
It's only a little guppy. We'll kill it.
Yeah, a little guppy with 6 heads. A little guppy with 6 heads.
That the gods themselves have chosen not to kill for some reason.
Right?
Sus.
It's very sus.
Pasquin will kill it, cook it, and take it back to the people so that they can eat something that's actually been cooked and enjoy it.
You're gonna give it to
No,
Obro?
Yeah, none of that nasty friggin' sushi that they were eating.
Give it to Obro.
No.
All right. That sounds like a plan, Tasklin. Why don't we leave this one to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, leave it to me in Australia. Me in Australia will take care of this.
Very cool. Yeah, we're done. We'll be back next week. We'll see what happens.
Awesome.
Who knows?
Okay.
So have a good week, and may the 4th be with you.
So,
All right. Yep, we'll be back next week stream, or next week with this game. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you tomorrow night. She should be here tomorrow. Cool. Take care. 23rd and 24th. Well, that's the 18th. That's the Friday and Saturday you were saying. Yeah, are you going to Illinois again? Or bring your laptop with you. Yes, you do. Anyways, well, the 25th we're not playing.